This show is brought to you by HostBaby.com, web hosting for musicians.
Want to know what the ultimate path to success in the music business is? That's what we cover here on episode 57 of Music Marketing Monday. We have the answer. We have the way, the magic formula. Here it is. Stay tuned.
Information, inspiration, motivation for the modern musicpreneur.
Time to start your week right.
Here it comes, Music Marketing Monday, with your host, Bob Baker,
Mr. Buzz Factor,
and Billy Gryzak.
The Music Marketing Mind.
Ready? Are you sure?
Set.
Here it comes. Swing, baby.
You're looking for it, aren't you? The magic bullet, the answer, the one size fits all, the technique, the plan, the thing, the app, whatever it is, that magical, incredible answer to life, the universe, and everything about your music career. Well, I'm here to tell you. Well, I'm not going to tell you anything right now. I'm just going to tell you my name. This is Billy Gryzak. I am the full-time working musician, and over there, checking out the number 42 is
Bob Baker. Yes, I caught the Hitchhiker's Guide reference. Thank you very much. And I am a full-time author, full-time musician, full-time author. We both play music. We both do authorish type of things, and we both make obscure references to obscure books.
because we're geeks.
But
anyway,
at least we had the answer. We've discovered the Holy Grail that we're going to reveal right here on this episode.
I know everybody wants to know the answer. They want to know how to do it. What is the one way that, you can become super successful and meet all your goals, your dreams in the music business? Well, Bob, are you ready to let them know the answer?
Oh, I am so totally ready to let them know.
Okay, here we go. Drum roll. And the answer is...
So here's the thing. I'm actually not going to give the answer. We're going to dance around it and then give it... It'll be revealed as we go through this episode. So I will say I have been in the information publishing business for a couple of decades or so. And so, my books, my blogs, my podcasts, and everything, things like my YouTube videos are filled with... advice and success tips. And also, quite often, I love to show examples, especially the people that, musicians and other creative people that have done really cool things and attracted a fan base and sold a bunch of their stuff and all of that. But there's a double-edged sword I have that comes with people that consume this information. And I guess on one hand, it's the people that read it and go, oh, well, that's what I should be doing. It worked for that guy. That sounds good to me. That's the route to success, And then there are the people that are trying to play the devil's advocate and accuse me of suggesting that this is a new business model. And all I was doing was saying, here's just a cool example to be inspired by. The best way, though, to handle these things, and the whole reason that I share the success stories, is just to inspire people, to let you know what's possible, not necessarily that this is the thing that you should be doing. Your thoughts, sir?
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, and I've actually been out there doing it for now 4 decades, and I know what works. I have the answers because I know it works. I've done it. I have the success.
That means that everybody who's listening should do what you're doing, right?
Absolutely not.
There is your secret route.
That is exactly right, because, when it all boils down to it, there is no single one thing that is right for everybody. There's only what's right for you.
Oh, yes. There's the magic. That's the magic formula right there.
Yeah, what is right for you? And the interesting thing is, back when I started out doing this music thing, there wasn't a lot of information. Did I ever tell you, Bob, before that fateful day when I walked into Hyde's Music Store on Military Avenue in Green Bay, Wisconsin? They're now out of business, and found this wonderful book called Guerrilla Music Marketing.
Handbook, yes.
Before I found that, back in the late 70s, early 80s, the only book that I was able to find to get inspiration and information was a book by, ready for this, Kenny Rogers, called Making It in Music.
Wow.
And that's how far back I go. I mean, we didn't have Bob Baker. We didn't have all this information. We didn't have the internet, and there was a lot of hard knocks. You know what I'm saying? And so in that 4 decades, there's a lot of trial and error, and I found out what works for me, where I live, the music I play, the audiences I serve, the area I live in, the part of the country I live in, the type of gigs I do. And as I've gone from career to career, which has spanned both disco, punk, R&B, country, heavy metal, show bands, and children's music, there's a set of rules that work for each. And within those rules, there's the places where I fit, you know what I mean? And have worked for me. But there was no handbook for, I'd say, a good 2 decades of my career. We didn't have that information, but now we have we have the internet, we have this show, we have lots of information out there, so much information, so everybody can be instantly gratified and become instantly successful, right, Bob?
That's right. You find out what's working for one person and you do it and you're there. Wrong.
Yeah, but which one do you do, man? I mean, I've just in the last 2 days, I've heard about 30 different ways people are making it. Which one should I do?
Right. And I totally relate to this, even though I'm a pretty steady part-time musician myself. I'm a full-time author. And I started this journey in the early 90s with publishing information, and I took the road less traveled, and there weren't a whole lot of people. There was some people that have, always kind of gone the indie route, but they were kind of underground. They didn't certainly make the news much, but I did not want to go everybody's knee-jerk reaction, similar to music back then, was they wanted to get the deal. They wanted to be in retail stores. They wanted to be on the cover of magazines and all this. And luckily that did not appeal to me, all the rejection letters and all that. And so I was on this new thing called the internet in the mid-90s, thinking, I think this might have some potential for me to go directly to and reach my audience. So I found a way using the internet, one of the kind of early people doing that, and it worked out for me. But geez, I know in the author space there are tons of different routes to being successful, but in music it seems like it's even more overwhelming. And so, so like somebody will look at, like we've talked about Jack Conte and Natalie Dawn and Pomplamoose a number of times. Mm-hmm. I've interviewed Jack a couple times over the years, and that's a great success story. They used really incredible YouTube videos to build a fan base, and for years they didn't even have a mailing list or anything. That was just then they make a living, sold 100,000 downloads or whatever. Hell, that's and you go, oh, maybe that's what I should be doing. And then you hear about some other band or some guy on Vine. Who was that young, like, teen or 20-something kid that was he was on Vine, and he so suddenly had 6 million people following there and got a record deal. Oh, I should be doing the Vine thing. Every platform has a success story.
Right, or like the YouTubers that decided they're going to release a CD after they have, 3 million followers, and then they sold 6 million units in a weekend. That's the Star Bomb. I mean, there's another thing. Or if you go back a little bit, back Hootie and the Blowfish, they just worked a college circuit and just played college after college after college after college, sold 1 million units in the college level, and then got the attention of a record label. You know what I mean? Right. So there are so many different possibilities now.
And this came out of a conversation that we had during a conference call in a program that I'm in. We're actually a little past the halfway point of the Get Important Stuff Done Passion Project Edition for people that want to get their projects completed or in a 30-day period. And it comes up licensing is another big thing that's been kind of high profile. And so you read about people that are making a full-time living just licensing their songs to film and TV and advertising. Oh, that's the way I should go. And then you turn around. Oh, and then this is Shannon Curtis is somebody who I've met and I've interviewed her. She's got this new business model and a book out about house concerts. She doesn't even hardly ever play traditional venues. She does 65 dates or whatever every summer in people's homes, and it's very lucrative for her. Oh, that's what I should do. It is kind of mind-boggling. What do you do? So Billy, what is the advice for people? How do you find your way?
Well, I guess it all starts out with, first of all, who are you and what do you do and who are you trying to reach? You know what I mean? Right off the bat, for me, it always boils down to that. You know what I mean? So if your goal is to reach people, let's just, give you a crazy example, like when some people say, oh, you need to do social media. All right, for instance, that's the ticket. That's going to get you, where you want to go, doing all social media. Well, let's suppose that your goal actually is to play music for senior citizens and to go work in nursing homes. Well, I got news for you. A lot of those guys probably aren't real hip to all the social media and stuff. So that would be a complete waste of time. You need to find another way. You know what I mean? So whatever it is that you're going to do, whatever path you're going to choose, when you hear about all these success stories, what you need to do is not follow them blindly, but you need to take the little bits and pieces, the little nuggets out of every story you hear and see how you can apply that to your own journey, because there is not a one-size-fits-all situation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is. It's sort of a coming together of a lot of different factors. So it's your own personal, who you are as a person, like you said, also your strengths and weaknesses. Some people, for instance, Jack Conte, he had experience working in media and film and video and digital, technology. He was kind of a geeky guy to begin with. So being able to use that to create these really breathtaking videos, or just, awe-inspiring videos is what worked for him, because he came to the table with those skills, I mean, you can develop skills along the way, but what do you already possess? Some people are really good at relating to people in a live setting. Some people are not. Maybe so that's why the licensing would work better for somebody who not only had the studio chops, but also maybe didn't have to have the persona to be on stage, So
right, and location still has a lot to do with it, even though the internet is an equalizer, where you can be all places and you can be on an equal playing field with, the bigger acts and the record labels and all that stuff. You're still limited by location if you do decide to choose to play out in a live venue. You know what I mean? If you live in the, let's say you live in the Yukon territory, which I've played in the Yukon territory. I stayed there for like 6 months and played there. Great little music scene, by the way. But it's very limited to your reach, because it is a very small and limited area. So you have to decide, if you're going to play live, where are you going to play? Is your location conducive to that? You know what I'm saying? That's a biggie right there. Or if you're going to go the YouTube route, do you have the skills, the equipment, the space to actually do that well? If you're going to go the licensing route, how are you going to get your music to these people? There's different aggregators out there. There's, of course, the Taxi, the Sonic Bids. There's what are some of the other ones? Broadjam. There's a lot of different companies out there. They all have different pay scales and different rules and regs. I mean, what works best for you? I suggest. I guess what I'm saying is you shouldn't just jump blindly into a pool before you know what's in it.
Yeah, or what I describe is don't have tunnel vision with your route to success, because I think somebody sees a success story and they go, oh, that, and then they're single-mindedly trying to go that route, ignoring all the other opportunities or signals that maybe something else might be more lucrative or beneficial for them, or right for their personality. Who's the guy in your Facebook group? We've mentioned him before. I can't remember his name, but he's the drummer that does like long-distance drumming digitally. Doesn't he live in the Scandinavia or something?
Yeah, Nicholas Blixt, and he is a professional session drummer, and he does distance recording. So basically, since he lives in an area where it's not easy for him to go out and physically interact with people all over the country, he's using the internet to reach out to people that he hears doing demos with drum programs and loops. And he finds people that he really does like and believes in, and says, hey, if you're interested in taking it up to the next level, I offer the service. And he's turned that into his music model, how he's getting out there now. He's being successful with his talent and skill.
Yeah, and I don't really know the story about how that developed for him, but I can't imagine like he read it in a book or on a blog post and said, I'm going to do that. And it probably came to him organically. And I guess that's the thing here. Even though a lot of people come to me, they do consulting sessions, they do, they buy my books and programs, probably wanting me to deliver the way, the plan, the magic bullet. I mean, more and more my message in recent years is there is no, I've been saying it for years, there is no one way, but more I'm saying is play, have fun, experiment, try a bunch of different things, and then pay attention